Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Heavy Nummy podcast. This is episode 5?
5.
It's 5, yeah.
Yes. 5.
Yeah, it's 5.
Episode 5. This is a 4th of July special. It's not. Is it exactly coming out?
Yes. No,
No.
day before. Day before.
It's the day before 4th of July, but it's going to be 4th of
July
July
3rd special.
because this was our decision. We came to that conclusion. But we also have our very first special guest, Jaime Cruz.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm glad you were able to come here.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, also, final note before hitting the intro, I'd like to make some shout outs to some birthday peoples. First is Chrissy.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Not a mean old brain fart. Yeah, Chrissy, happy birthday. Lupita, happy birthday to you. Natalia, Aunt Nat, happy birthday. Cousin Toby, Felix, happy birthday to you, bro. My little brother Juan Cheese, happy birthday, little dog. And Dominique, happy birthday to you, Dom. And Sophia, happy birthday to you. And that's it, I think. Anyone double checking?
No, we're good.
All right.
We're good.
Let's start this pod. Hit the intro. Alright. Hi, man. You are our very first special guest, man. How's it feel to be in like the fastest growing pod?
Well, you want the honest truth or just some makeup stuff? No, man. I'm actually pretty excited. Pretty excited to be on here, and you guys have kind of been talking about it for a while, and when I heard about you guys doing it, I was like, dude, like sign me up. It's pretty cool that you guys are doing something like this. So it's dope, man. It's dope to be on here.
Yeah,
Nice to have you here, bro.
We put a NDA contract for you. Thank God. But yeah. So we're gonna ask him a couple of questions so you guys can get to know him because hopefully he's gonna be in future episodes. I think he said that he was. And,
In the contract, it says he is.
He should introduce himself.
Yeah.
What do you do and everything?
Jaime, who are you?
Yeah, who are you? What do you do?
Oh,
What's
You
your
said name
social?
Jaime? His name's
Okay.
Jaime
What's your
already.
social? Do you own a house?
Yeah,
What's the car payment?
No
What's
house.
the mortgage look like?
Everyone would like to know social security number, serial number.
Oh, jeez. You got it.
time, birth.
Cool.
Credit
So, of course, I said my name earlier. My name's Jaime Cruz. I'm these guys' older brother, his cousin, but grew up with him as my brother as well. So I consider everybody at this couch as my brother. I'm a mental health therapist / football coach. Man, I mean, I grew up here in Pacoima, California. I played at San Fernando High School, went to San Fernando High School. I went to the University of Dubuque. I got a bachelor's degree there, played football there. And then I went on to get two master's degrees at Concordia University of Irvine. So got my master's in coaching and athletic administration. And then my second one was in mental health counseling. So now I'm just currently working on like my associate licensure. So it kind of moves me on to being a licensed mental health therapist, which is a pretty big deal. But I only have about like maybe till next August, and I'll have already completed that. So after that, yeah, man, it's big moves after that. Then we're talking about like buying houses, hopefully, and
the big money comes?
the big money, hopefully.
When the big money comes,
yeah.
the big checks.
God willing, man. But I'm just blessed.
The investment in the pod comes?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But no, man, I'm just definitely blessed to be doing what I'm doing, man. So yeah,
Awesome.
I don't think I missed anything.
Nah, you got it pretty good. That was a little nice little,
Nice little spiel.
little index cards.
Sound like you
I
practiced it.
appreciate it. Yeah, no. But yeah, no, man. That's pretty much me. I mean, I'm a pretty laid back person, so.
Yeah, you're laying back right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable.
Yeah. First question though for you, people would like to know.
I got it right here. Want me to ask
Oh
you?
yeah, go for it.
The one you put, right?
What does it matter?
If you didn't coach, go into coaching.
Okay.
I know you coach linemen. All right, that's your lineman coach.
Yes, I'm an offensive line coach. Yep.
If you didn't coach linemen in football, what position would you coach?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I mean, I've playing football, I've coached So I've played offensive line. I tried out at linebacker, and I've played literally maybe like 10 snaps at defensive line. My Letterman jacket says linebacker on it only because a shout out to like my linebacker coach. He was a dope dude, very dope guy. Coach D was a great man. So kind of looking back at it, honestly, man, I would coach linebackers. Dude, I think linebackers is like the core of your defense. So of course you look at a football team. I coach offensive line, so that's pretty much the core of your offense. Like if you don't got an offensive line, like that's. I don't know if you're moving the ball. So I think if you don't have any great linebackers behind your defensive line, you're not stopping the ball. Like I was a big fan growing up of Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs. I mean, you have Luke Kuechly, like those dudes, Ray Lewis, yeah. Guys like that I watched playing. So like I wanted to mimic them on the field so badly. So like wanted to be like flying off the ball every time, being excited, trying to motivate guys. So yeah, definitely linebackers, man. Linebackers would probably be my spot.
Would you have rather played linebacker than lineman?
Oh,
when you played football. I know.
So for me, I think at a point, there was a point where I had decided in high school that I didn't want to play offensive line anymore. Yeah. I was like, I'm done. Like there was just certain things in closed doors that occurred, and I was like, I'm done playing offensive line. I don't want to play this anymore. And I reached out to the linebacker coach, and he kind of told me he spoke to me man to man and kind of told me like, hey, like the way you're approaching this is not maybe the best way. I mean, we'll take you as a linebacker, but like really talk to your offensive line coach and get things sorted out. So I said, cool. I don't know, man. I think if I look at my career as a whole playing football, I wouldn't change playing offensive line. I think it was really I guess we'll get into it later, but like playing that position really has. Honestly, like, I don't know, molded who I am today. So, definitely.
What you played high school, not high school football, but you played football like from high school into college. Right?
Yeah. So I've played 4 years of high school football, and then I played 4 years of college football.
D3 football. Right?
Oh, actually, I'm actually gonna correct that. I only played 3 years. So I had my ACL reconstruction. I didn't play anything before that due to previous injuries as well. So I mean, if you guys know me pretty well, I mean I have injuries that I've had. So those kind of stopped me from playing any sports before high school. So I played like flag football or something. So very non-contact sports. But yeah, so I've played from high school to college definitely.
And going to coaching, but is high school like the highest level you want to coach, or do you want to like aim higher than that for coaching?
So I actually during my reconstruction year, my ACL reconstruction year, I played. I didn't play. So what I did was my coach offered me to become a student assistant coach. I really enjoyed that time being a Division III like student assistant coach. I mean I didn't do much really, but I just helped out with like setting up the field and stuff. So simple things, right? But I really enjoyed that little aspect, and that got me into coaching. And then after coaching, I actually landed a intern job at a strength and conditioning for UCLA. And then, which was surprising because I had no experience in strength and conditioning, but playing football. And then after that, I was like, dude, I think I could do this. Like, I don't really like the strength and conditioning part. Too many numbers for me. But I was definitely like, okay, you know what? Let me send out like my application to like the JUCOs or any colleges that are in California to see if I can get myself started. So I definitely, what ended up happening is like this coach from Pierce College, Coach Woods, actually is what got me started into coaching. So I think I was 22 years old. I was an offensive line coach at a junior college. So that was awesome. So it was a great opportunity for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hiring a 22-year-old to coach the offensive line is pretty crazy, dude. So, unfortunately, though, COVID hit. New coach came in, didn't want me, kind of said that I was just too young. Said that he just wasn't looking for someone like me right now. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Which then my guy, man, I love this man, but Coach Broussard called me and was like, hey, man, like, I've heard your name around. We want to take you from Pierce College. Like, and at this time, It's a funny story. I think I've told him this story, but I didn't tell him that I wasn't at Pierce anymore. So I used it as my leverage. And he was like, we were talking, and dude, it was probably by far the best interview I've ever had in my life, the easiest interview, because it was 2 hours of me and Coach Broussard just literally talking about life, dude. So it was a funny moment because he actually coached against me. I was a player at San Fernando, and he was coaching at Burbank High School. So there was multiple times that we had crossed paths without actually knowing each other. But yeah, man, I mean, the stars aligned, and we have been coaching with him since 2020. So since been at Village Christian since 2020. So to answer your question, I right now where my life is at with everything, high school is I'm okay with high school. Is it my dream to go to a college? Honestly, with all the politics that are happening right now with like the NIL deals and all that, not really interested. I think it takes the biggest aspects of college because, and I laugh because it's like when I grew up in college, you're thinking, oh, I want the scholarship, and that's what you're working for. Yeah. But you no longer are, I don't know, you don't no longer work for that. You work for this business or, and you listen to like Nick Saban why he left. He's like, dude, I literally got to offer someone like $11 million to come to my school. When before it used to be like, if you're the best player, you're coming here. So I don't know. If that doesn't really change, I think long term, I love the high school level. So as of right now, yeah, like high school might be the level I'm okay with right now, yeah.
So with that and coaching at D3 high school and community, how has your aspirations of coaching changed within that?
I think so kind of going from D3 to JUCO to high school, I've been really challenged to connect with kids, in the sense of, I mean, you're coaching grown men at one point. You're coaching at the JUCO. You're coaching 25-year-olds. It depends on the age, man. That's just how JUCO is. But my aspirations in the beginning was like, I mean, I think it was the same thing as when I was a player. It was just, man, I want to get to the highest level I can possible. But then I started looking into like the NFL and how much politics go into that. And I was like, at that point, I was like, I don't really think I want to be in the NFL. And then the college stuff, that's when the whole business side of it started amping up. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I ever want to be like in the D1 level. I think it's just too many politics. But the Division II, the Division IIIs, or the NAIAs, those JUCOs, I think those people are always trying to work to get something. Because you're at a D1 school, you're thinking, oh, I have a pretty good chance at the NFL. I mean, there's a slight chance, right?
Yeah.
D2, D3s, NAIAs, you're going to get overlooked unless you're like the dude. Which I played with one guy. His name is Michael Joseph, who now plays for the DC Defenders. Great guy.
That's
great.
USFL?
Yeah, that's that new league. Is it UFL?
USFL.
USFL. So he plays for them. Man, he's a great guy. Probably one of the best dudes I've met while I was actually hurt. Best guy I've met in a while. Like, just as dude, as a corner, I used to tell him, funny story, I used to tell him when I was hurt, I used to come up to him and I was like, hey, give me one interception today. Dude, came out with one interception. There was one time I told him, give me 3 interceptions. Bro, he came out with 3 interceptions that game. It was so crazy. And he would always come to celebrate with me. He was a cool dude, very good guy. But yeah, my aspirations changed because when I started getting to know the kids more during COVID, I saw how much it hurt them not to have certain friend groups anymore or be around their friends a certain way or even being able this close. Yeah. You know? So I think my aspirations came to how can I make a kid feel welcomed? How can I make a kid feel that he belongs, that he's not alone in this world, and that if he does have struggles at home, that when you step on this football field, or you cross the gate or whatever it is, you cross those lines, you step on the grass, turf, whatever you do, the world can't hurt you. Like in that moment, the world can't hurt you. The world is yours at your hand. It's your decision whether to go hard or to not go hard. Right? It's your decision. I'm not going to force you. Right? I might blow a whistle, but at the end of the day, you still got to perform. But you perform by how much work you put in. So I mean, that's kind of how my aspirations have gone. Is really just trying to help somebody really feel welcomed and just feel like they have a space in the world.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Were you ever since you started off coaching young and everything like
Yeah.
that, were you ever discouraged?
As a coach?
Yeah, as a coach.
Yeah, I did. If anybody has played football with me or, has ever seen my competitive side, I'm a pretty loud person. Even now as a coach, you'll hear me here and there. But as a young coach, I had to learn early on that it wasn't okay sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was young, I was really loud with referees. Sometimes I would forget that I was a coach. But a coach told me that. So I had an exit interview with the coach, and he told me, he was like, "Dude, you're too young. You're too young, and if you're really considering this, you need to change your approach to the game, because you act like a player more than a coach." And I was like, that hit home for me, because at the time, we were making a transition with coaching staffs, and when a new coach was coming in, I had taken the role of helping out a lot, like really helping out the team, form, and really keeping them together, because it was only 3 of us that had stayed to help, the rest had left, and so I was really discouraged by that, because I remember I think Emilio a couple weeks after had come set with my dad and I, and we were kind of looking for coaching jobs, and I was telling Emilio about it. And I was like, dude, yeah, it kind of discouraged me, because it was I don't think I'm ready for the next level or anything, or even if this is the career path I want to take.
Yeah.
But that's when Coach Brew kind of stepped in and, changed my aspect on things.
Ease your mind.
Yeah, he definitely eased my mind, because even when I went to Village, I had some little loud matches, just screaming a little bit. But he's the one that, because I was afraid, because I had known, after the season, I was like, oh shoot, I might have. It was my second year, and I was like, I don't know. I think he might be offended by how I coach, or how I was approaching things. And at my exit meeting, he's like, hey, look, he told me, Jaime, you're great at what you do. Just remember who you're doing it for. And I was like, oh, that's very true. You lose sight of that sometimes. Definitely when you're young, coaching is that's right. At the high school level, especially, is you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the kids. At the end of the day, they need to, like I said in the beginning, is they need to feel welcome. They need to feel like they can be there. And him rehiring me that year and continuing to be a part of his staff really showed me I can do this, even if it's at the high school. It's really cool.
Yeah. So you were saying right now, you get stressed a lot, right?
Stressed? There's moments I do get stressed. Yeah.
So what is your way of taking away that stress?
Decompressing and all that. It just depends. Just recently, actually, I just went on a vacation for a wedding. Took my girlfriend and I, and
shout out Pat and Haley.
Shout out Pat. But usually I so every year there was a point that every year I would actually travel. I would get out of the state, or I would go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of weird. It was it just followed. So what I do enjoy is, for my stress especially, is kind of getting away from my normal routine. Kind of getting away from just what my normal life is.
Yeah.
And just go explore. Whether it's, here it was Mammoth or Forest Hills, California, which I didn't even know was a thing, or going to Yosemite. So that was really cool, and just enjoying what the world has to offer, other than just San Fernando.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely getting out, doing things that not in my house, doing things outside of my normal life. So yeah.
Is there a favorite place that you thought was the best place you went to?
What do you mean?
Is there a favorite spot you went to?
During my trip?
Yeah, during that.
But during my trip, it was definitely got to be had to be Mammoth. So we went to this, I think it was Horseshoe
Lake,
where we caught the fish.
Yeah.
So if you guys know, sorry, I'll probably get a little emotional, but fishing's a big thing. it's a big thing because I started off with my uncle, rest in peace, and my dad, and
It's okay, bro. They already seen me cry.
well, I wasn't supposed to cry, bro, but we'll hold them back. But so we went fishing, and I mean, first of all, I mean, shout out to my girlfriend. She's amazing, and she likes to fish, or more sense, she wants to enjoy the things I do, which is amazing of her. So we go fishing, and if you guys know me fishing, I throw out a couple times, and I'll get a little frustrated, and I lose my patience.
A little.
But then I start to help everybody else out, or like start getting next to somebody else and just enjoying if they catch a fish or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing my girlfriend, and she's throwing this fish out. And she's throwing out these plastic worms, dude. And you could tell she's getting a little flustered. She's getting a little frustrated. And we see Jessica. We see Jessica. She catches one. Like catches this little guppy, like about this big.
Little guppy.
So then I asked Emilio. I was like, "Hey man, can we borrow some of those night crawlers to see if we can catch too?" And he's like, "Yeah, for sure, man." So we throw it out there. I'm helping her throw it out, and like 20 minutes later, all I hear is, "I got one!" And just the expression in her face and like the excitement I saw from her was awesome. It was just felt like, you know, like you're seeing someone enjoy something you do. And I was like, I remember that feeling of my first fish. And I know it's not her first fish, but, you know, with us, it's my first fish with her. So it was like really, you know, it's special. And then funny part is she leaves her pole there, and the worm is still hanging out in the water. And next thing you know, we hear her pole start like
going.
There's another fish on the pole without her holding the pole.
That's freaking cool.
So yeah, man.
That's a
Like,
cool
so definitely visiting Horseshoe Lake at Mammoth was a really cool experience just to be there. So, but favorite spot, if you're thinking more general, I've been to Hawaii. Hawaii had to be Hawaii. Hawaii.
Island, right?
Yeah, that was a really great spot. Very beautiful place. Really highly recommend people to go to. Honestly, just Kauai, because I've heard that's a very quiet place if you're looking for something just
I have a quiet life, and I don't know if you know, but I want to have a quiet identity too.
Oh,
okay.
In the future.
Okay.
So
What do you mean quiet identity?
He's working on that.
I mean, like, I'm gonna hide my identity at some point.
Oh.
Yeah, people could go watch that story. Which one was it?
Oh,
episode 1 on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
A little plug.
They could go watch that story of me hiding my identity. But Emilio, you wanna ask
so talking about decompression and all that, did going into your therapy side, right?
Yeah.
Did coaching help you transition or want to become a therapist? Is that like what helped? Or how did that work out?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that kind of occurred for me going into mental health therapy, because so I'll start with this is I had a moment in my life where I had to I don't want to say check myself, but definitely had to find out what I was without football. And it wasn't such a beautiful place I was at, but definitely had to find that out. And luckily, when the UCLA stuff came on for me and stuff like that, it really showed me some direction. But I got to know a lot of people and got to see some interesting folks in the sense of just how people operate. You know, I got to see Tom Brady. I met Odell Beckham Jr. I interacted with Saquon. If anybody knows Anthony Barr, he was a linebacker for the Vikings. Eric Kendricks, who also played for the Vikings, and I don't know if he's still with the Chargers, but was recently with the Chargers. So I got to meet all those guys. Chris Paul, got to see him. So I got to meet all these guys, and I saw how they functioned. Some of them were very quiet to themselves. Yeah. I got to see how some of them were together, having fun, working out, laughing. So like, that's dope. So carrying on that to when I got to Village Christian, I got to see how important social life is for kids.
Yeah.
Because there was certain behaviors you would see with kids, and you're like, dude, that's just not correct.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
so for me, going from the JUCO level, seeing these, 22-year-olds, higher ages, going from there to the village, I saw some things that I couldn't really connect with. So I was like, I just really can't connect with these kids the way I was connecting with the JUCO level or the just, almost like close to my age kids. So I was really motivated by the fact that where I got my master's degree, they had offered a mental health counseling degree. So I was like, I had called this lady, and I was like, hey, is it okay that I just finished my degree? Is it possible to get into this with my bachelor's degree that I have? She kind of asked me a bunch of questions about myself, and I told her about myself and why I wanted to do it. And she was like, dope, let's sign you up for the interview process. I said, cool. Got through the interview. Funny part is I met with, that interview had the director of the Townsend Institute, which is where I got my degree,
Mm-hmm.
and then one of my professors I knew for a while. She was a very great professor, but since then I finished my degree with actually her being my professor, like in the last 2 courses or something like that. So it was a really cool experience. But to go from coaching these kids at Village Christian, these teenagers, really has motivated me to go into mental health counseling, to work with kids,
Mm-hmm.
to help teenagers, young adults understand that the things you go through as a person, they're just as important as how you function in your everyday life. Like when you're sad and you try to like mask that with fake happiness,
Mm-hmm.
that sadness is still there. Like it's still sitting there.
Yeah.
When you're ready to deal with that, that's when you're going to start seeing some improvements in your life. When you're just masking that and just continue to just say, I'm okay, I'm fine, when in reality you really aren't,
Mm-hmm.
you're not allowing yourself any movement in your life. You're not allowing a door to open for you. You're not allowing anything of those simple things to really acknowledge that my life is good, or that my life is okay right now. So you really don't see it that way. All you see is darkness. And so yeah, like coaching football really took me into that route of mental health counseling.
So like working as a therapist, what has like been the best thing so far?
Oof. So I've had a bunch of experiences in therapy so far. As I just said right now, my focus in therapy was children. So my best experience so far, I worked at a it's called Door of Hope. So Door of Hope is a domestic violence, also a homeless shelter. So they have like a bunch of like house apartment buildings, so people live in them. But very great organization. They have this whole program where they just honestly, I was working with kids. So like there was kids who had some traumas and all this sort of things that was just messing with their mental health. So I had this little kid. Reminded me of my little brother. He was getting bullied, and he was just a little kid, man, just a little shy little kid. And when I first met him, he had these little broken glasses. And if you're in Pacoima, I mean, you know that you're living as comfortable as you can, right?
Yeah.
And when I met this kid, all I could see was just like myself. It was like this little kid just wanting for someone to just say, "Hey, I got you," And when I was gonna finish my sessions with him, because I was leaving the organization, he looked at me and said, "Thank you," and gave me the biggest of hugs. And he said, "Are you leaving because of me?" I said, "No, I'm not leaving because of you. I have to move on. Like I just have to go on to the next phase of my school." And he was like, "Okay, good. I just hope I didn't hurt your feelings or anything." And I was like, "No, buddy, you have made me a better person." So very, very, very warm memory of that child, and hopefully we'll ever cross paths. I don't know if we ever will, but definitely wherever he is, I just thank him because he was really cool.
Watching this, maybe.
Oh, maybe. I hope so. That'd be cool. That'd be dope.
That would be cool.
But yeah, man. Yeah, so definitely one of my best memories.
So you mentioned this in the previous question,
Mm-hmm.
but you said when you stopped football, you had trouble navigating. It was like where am I without football?
Yeah.
And I guess my question is how from high school, transitioning from football from high school to college, how was that transition like? And how was it that afterwards when football ended for you, right? Because you didn't go to NFL and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What mentally were you like? Where am I gonna go next? What am I gonna do now? Cause I know coming, like, I feel like we had similar paths, obviously, but
yeah,
I always
sure.
grew up with like, you can do that. You should do this. You have the size and everything.
Yeah,
but
for
you
sure.
opposite, right?
Yeah.
You don't have the size, Jaimito. You know, you should think of something else and stuff like that. So, just how did that affect you playing football?
So do you want me to start from high school?
Yeah, yeah.
So of course, I mean, I'm only 5'11". When I was in high school, I was maybe 205 pounds. Is probably the heaviest I weighed. Playing, yeah.
As a lineman.
Yeah. So
As a
playing
lineman.
offensive line, that's a small guy, dude. Like,
That's small.
yeah, that's pretty small. I mean, what you're looking for now, right? Mm-hmm. So when I was in 9th grade, I told my mom that Mom, I'm gonna go get a Division I offer. You know, I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah.
At the time, I was oblivious to it all. I didn't know that that I was too small. But then I played my first 2 years, awesome, fun, and then my 11th grade year, we won 2 championships back to back, and then my senior year came, and that's when it really hit me that I'm not going in nowhere big. I'm not going like USC where I dreamed of, or I'm not going to UCLA or anything like that. So I really didn't care. At that point, at my senior year, I was like, you know what? We're just going to play. You know, we're just going to play football and just see what happens. Unfortunately, I had struggled with injuries.
Yeah.
So my senior year, right before we go into game 1, I apparently, from what I know now, I had torn my meniscus.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love the reactions, bro.
Yes, bro.
I tore my meniscus, and then I said, if you know me as a player, I was pretty hard-nosed type of guy. I didn't care. Like, if I was hurt, I was still gonna play. So we went into game 1, and I didn't tape it or anything. I wore a knee brace. Unfortunately, no one was around me, and we were running a play. It was maybe like the 3rd play of the game, and my knee just popped. I ended up tearing my ACL. At the time, like I said, I was a very hard-nosed player. I was reluctant to how to play. It's my senior year. I'm not going to get this again.
Mm-hmm.
I played with the ACL torn the entire season. Unfortunately, that was not what kept me out. My senior night, I broke my leg. I broke my tibia and fibula.
Clean break.
So
Were you there for that?
He was.
So Miguel's right. It was a clean break. I don't know if anybody. The best way to describe it is if you ever watched Harry Potter when his hand does this.
That's how it was.
My leg was doing that. My foot was like on the other side.
One foot was like this, the other foot was like this.
But definitely an experience.
Better place.
Yeah. Yeah. So then what worried me was, I mean, my brain is still thinking, if I can go to college, I can go to college, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't a really great GPA guy in high school. Like, school for me, I loved it because I could be with my friends. I could play football.
Yeah.
When that was all gone, I just did my best to survive. But I ended up sending out my film to a bunch of D3s NRA schools because my coach had really like, hey, Jaime, like, I got some coaches that are calling. You should send it out.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. I ended up with 12 offers from D3 and NRA.
No marks.
I was, yeah. So, I got 12 offers. it was crazy. It was my second semester of high school, so this is like springtime, and I'm getting these offers. They're not any big full-time scholarships. They're from NAIA D3, and
yeah, I know.
they're paying for like 75% maybe for your schooling, which is a good decent thing. So going to transition from high school to college football, the hardest thing was, unfortunately, I was still 5'11", at that time, maybe 225, 5'11", 225, going.
Unless you looked on Max Preps, right?
Unless you looked at Max Preps, I was
6'1",
250.
Yeah.
Let's get that right. I mean, at some point I get to that weight.
6'1", 250.
But
Just not the height.
But that's just not the height. But so I go to college, and I mean, you guys have seen my brother Miguel. I mean, he's lost a ton of weight. Shout out to that. That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. But when he was playing, he was 275. You're
275,
6'3"?
6'4".
You're 6'4".
Yeah.
Okay. I went to D3. I didn't know the teammates I was about to be with. And I'm going to Iowa. This is Midwest, dude. And I get there. There is this offensive line, dude, is 6'8" at left tackle, 6'8" at right tackle, and then guards are like 6'5".
Yeah.
And the center is the smallest guy. He's like
Smallest guy.
6'1". And I'm like, they're all above 250. And dude, I get my first practice. I swear to you, bro, I was on the floor every single rep. I remember, and this is where the hard part came in, right? Is about a couple days, my parents left, right? They left us, and a couple days passed, and I'm getting beat pretty bad.
Getting cooked.
Yeah, really bad. Yeah, really bad. I'm just gonna keep saying really bad, bro. But so what happens is I call my mom, and I was like, "Hey, do you guys still have that plane ticket, like ready to go?" And they were like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "I don't think I can do this." Like, I was getting beat pretty bad. You're not. It's Iowa. You know, you're not in San Fernando, California, where you can walk and get a taco or.
Where you going with that?
You can go anywhere like that. So it really didn't feel like home. So even when I was messing up, it didn't feel like I can go to anyone to just really like vent. So my best friend Louis, he went to go play with. He played at San Fernando with me. Then went to Dubuque. We went to Dubuque together. He was in the room when I made this call, and I hung up, and he looked at me. He was like, "You're not quitting." I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, I'm getting beat out there, bro. He's like, "You're not quitting. Like, you're gonna see this through, because we came here together, and we're gonna leave here together." He told me, if you quit, I'm gonna quit. Like, that's just how it's gonna roll. And I knew how much he loved football. Like, he loved football.
Yeah.
He was a diehard. He played since he was like a kid. Like, I think 8 years old or however young he could start playing. So when he told me that, I was like, all right, let's do it. Like, let's get on it. So I played. Unfortunately, I played with the torn ACL for 2 more years because I didn't know what really was wrong with my knee. Pretty damaged. I damaged it pretty good.
Pretty good.
So I took a year off my junior year, and then my senior year, I really just hung out on the second string and helped out as much as I could. So, but yeah, no, the transition was really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Going from honestly like the best lineman at one point with a couple guys who were a little bit better than me.
Yeah.
But then going to college, and these guys are the best players from their teams. So going from that to that, and not honestly being at the bottom, like I can be, I wasn't that good in college. Like, it just, unfortunately, they were just better than me.
Mm-hmm.
Just talent-wise, skills, they were just better than me.
Yeah.
Had to work a little harder than other people. So yeah, no, it was a really hard transition. It wasn't mentally, it was really tough to come to terms with that. And I think throughout my career, I didn't come to terms with it until my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really tough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very. I could understand that.
Yeah, you also tore your ACL.
Oh, yes, true.
On the
Yeah, and your meniscus. Yeah.
On the same leg too?
On the left leg.
Yeah, mine's the right knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute, bro.
Uh,
I have the right, I have the left.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh.
That's good. Yeah.
Oh, and you're on my right now. I'm on your left. Oh,
So cute.
bro. That's so adorable.
Was
You
it?
guys are ugly.
It's like we're brothers.
It's like we are.
That's
We're
crazy.
brothers. What is it? What is it? I know. For me, it was like a big thing because like when you're in football, especially like a lineman, you're
Yeah.
expected to be big, and it's when you're doing football and stuff like that. It's cool. It's cool because they give you compliments and stuff like that. But after a while, especially when you stop, it's like, damn, I'm just big now.
Yeah.
Like, and then obviously your eating habits are pretty bad. 'Cause You're
Mhm.
not working out as much anymore, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like now, now that I'm losing weight and stuff like that, I'm feeling it now. Like it's awesome. Like I'm kind of like shedding off all that
Yeah.
behind and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because I think all the weight I got was because of football, and afterwards, when I
Yeah. No,
stopped,
for sure.
all that eating habit
Yeah.
is still there. I remember when I stopped, it like now the way I'm doing and stuff like that, it's giving me more confidence and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. Like haven't played football in so long, and the fact that like that weight was still there, kind of like
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
stayed with me. But now that I'm way past that, I feel so much better now. I don't know if you feel that way because
Yeah. So in college, like I said, I had weighed 225. My whole freshman year, I weighed about maybe 235. I got up
Mhm.
to. Coach sat me down. He was like, "Look, Jaime, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You're probably never gonna play here."
Damn.
I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, your size, you're just small. You're a small guy, and we need someone who's gonna be kind of hard to move."
yeah,
I said, "Okay, how much do I need to weigh?" He said, "Well, you need to get a 250." I said, "Okay, coach, I got you." Came into my sophomore year of camp at 250. He said, "Jaime, you're still kind of light, man. You need to get to probably 275."
Damn.
I said, "Coach, I got you. I'll get to 275." Got to 275. Unfortunately, COVID hit,
yeah.
and I had just started losing weight. And I got to maybe 250, and then I
Mhm.
gained it all back because COVID I didn't take advantage of like just
Yeah.
exercising, running around and stuff. I didn't do that. I played video games and ate chips and drank soda and did all the extracurricular activities you could do at home. So I did that, and yeah, no, man, I had lost a lot of weight recently,
Yeah.
about 2 years ago. Lost a lot of weight.
Wow.
Gained it back right now. Very happy, man. So, but I just right now just chilling. But definitely feel what you're saying. Like for a lineman to shut off that weight, it's really important. It's like at the moment you're like, oh, I don't care. I'm big. I'm playing football. And you don't need that anymore. I don't need that to move around or to function in my everyday life. So yeah, it was really important to feel that. It felt very clean, like a cleanse almost.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Going off of that, like now that you have an idea of like how mental health works and stuff like that, what unhealthy occurrences have you observed in sports? Like that one I would say is one unhealthy occurrence. Right?
You said unhealthy?
Yeah, unhealthy occurrences.
Okay.
Like whether it be mental or physical.
Okay. With me or my experiences with like
Just in general,
sports?
what have you seen
Oh,
coaching
man,
and with other players?
Multiple things, man. You can go to substances, alcohol. You can go to the aspect of like just really hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Steroids. Like I've seen it pretty much. I've seen it all.
Yeah.
So unhealthy, man. It's just men being men, like egos and all these things just happening, and not acknowledging like the elephant in the room of like
Yeah.
like, hey bro, like, are you okay? Like are you doing okay? Like, are you doing good? Like, is everything all right? Like that doesn't happen as often as it needs to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think the unhealthy occurrences that I've witnessed as a coach, as an athlete, definitely the biggest one honestly is substances. I've had an incident once where like I had an athlete who was taking I had him take he was taking painkillers.
Oh.
And I remember the kids were so scared about what was happening, they had came to me and told me about it. And I approached the kid and I told him, "Why are you doing this, man?" And he told me, "Coach, I'm in a lot of pain." I said, "Man, go to the doctors." like, dude, go to the doctors.
Do what I should have done.
Yeah, sure,
Go to the doctors.
pretty much. Go to the doctors, man.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I sat him down. I was like, "Go to the doctors. Like, why are you doing this to yourself?" So I don't want. He told me, "I don't want to let you down." I said, "Man, I don't play anymore. Like, I don't play anymore. I'm not important. I'm only important to help you guide you into what life is. And if you're taking painkillers to prove something to me, then I'm doing something wrong. If you're going down this path to prove something to me, if you need to hear that you've been doing a great job and that you deserve a break, you're doing a great job. You deserve a break. Go get that. So, yeah, man, I think there's just multiple unhealthy occurrences that have happened in sports.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see it to the point where, trigger warnings and just fair warning, but like suicide, self-harming in athletes, it's big because people don't talk, man. Definitely male athletes, they don't talk. We don't say, like, we don't spend the time of like, hey bro, you want to go out to get a pizza, or hey, you down to hang out. It's like stuff like that is very important for some men, and it doesn't always have to be about feelings. It doesn't have to be about emotions. Just be with somebody,
like an outlet.
Yeah, and just be with somebody because you don't know what you're serving them. Like, they can be looking for you as like you said,
support. Yeah,
support, man. Yeah, so yeah, there's definitely those occurrences that have happened.
I think that's all the questions from us.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So some questions from the amazing people out there that are always watching. That when we announced you coming on,
I got like just one. I got.
Oh, go for it.
Because
Cool.
I was thinking right now that you said something. I'm sorry. It's just I know one crazy story. One crazy story that happened to me at Humboldt is that being at what you said right now, that nobody talks. I remember one time we were in the locker room and I'm getting ready to take a shower, and this guy punk kicks another guy in the face. His face gets swollen. I don't know if I ever told you that. Yeah.
Yeah, you did tell me.
His face gets swollen, like it's bad. Like his nose got big and everything.
Yeah.
And then they just had a whole fight, and everybody stopped. And when the coach came in, he had the audacity to say that he tripped and fell in the shower. That's how his face looked like that. So I always wonder if you have any crazy stories like that, like a crazy fight that happened. Because I know they happen often.
See, okay, so with my group of offensive line guys that I hung out with at practice, I would honestly say we handled business on the field.
Yeah. Okay.
I had the nickname at the time the fighting rooster.
the fighting rooster.
So funny story is one time my offensive line coach had got mad at us.
Yeah. Okay.
He was like, hey, like, you guys are not being violent enough, aggressive enough, whatever. Like, you guys need to go to the whistle. And I was like, Coach, I got you. I got you, Coach. Right? Exactly. Right? So my goal at practice at one point was let's be aggressive to the point where someone starts fighting me. And then, I mean, I was kind of like the only Mexican guy on the offensive line. So all my white friends and African American friends were like, Jaime, we got your back. And I had this friend. He was white Caucasian, very cool man. Had this big old belly. His name is Mitchell Temperley. Awesome guy. And he loved fighting. He loved fighting with me. Like, me and him would go like just antagonize people.
Uh-huh.
And there was this one, and he was this big defensive lineman. I had drove him to the ground. He kind of tripped, but I drove him. I finished.
Yeah.
And I
finish on top of another man, bro. Man, that's the way you do
so
it.
What happened was I pancaked him. As everybody calls it. We call them knockdowns now, but we pancaked him.
They call them knockdowns now?
Yeah, I call them that. My coach taught me that. It's not, pancakes are not real. Yeah. But, so this happens, dude. So I pancaked him. There's more to the story, but we'll keep that PG. But, so I pancaked him. His brother comes full speed at me and just, boom, hits me. So I'm on the floor. I see Mitch come. I'm on the floor like this happening. Someone's holding my knee. Yeah, dude, seriously, it felt like that because I'm in the pile like this. People are just coming over. My knee's being stuck over here. Someone's grappling, and I'm like, dude, what's going on?
Save it.
So yeah.
But did you have a tornado?
No, I had just came back. It was my senior year.
Somebody save the knee. Save the knee.
Yeah. So. Yeah, dude. So I was like, so definitely some crazy occurrences is like that. Like I've had some where like one time Sorry to go a little long, but there was another time where me and Mitch, we were like, "Hey, dude, let's get this kid mad real quick." I mean, it's football, bro. You're just, you're messing around. Problem is we just kept on like pushing him after the whistle, like giving a little nudge, just practice, And, dude, he comes into the offensive huddle and just starts just talking like bad. Our head coach is the offensive coordinator at the time, so he's telling us the plays. He's just, dude, the kid comes out, throws his helmet, takes off his pads, and says, "I'm done playing with y'all."
You made someone quit?
In Dubuque too?
Yeah, that was in Dubuque too. I forgot about San Fernando. Yeah. but so in Dubuque, like that happened, and
funny.
I remember me and Mitch are cracking up. We're like, dude, it's like this kid really just quit. He came back the next day.
No.
Where we went and talked to him after and just kind of apologized, but.
I didn't mean to hit you that hard, bro.
No, it was ultimately.
I didn't mean to nudge you, bro.
Ultimately, it was that. It was just we would nudge people and try to get get a little going, get a little spice in the game. But yeah, man, that's kind of the funny story. I mean, there's more that I've had, but that's the funniest one. Yeah.
Reggie, when Miguel, we were playing games.
Oh yeah, yeah. It reminded me of the time we were playing Mortal Kombat and all three of us were beating Miguel, and he got off and turned up.
Oh, now you don't want to talk about this?
Bro, I'm kicking his butt,
next
bro.
question. What did the audience got? What did the audience
got
got?
up from his chair and turned off the Xbox.
Rage quit at its finest.
Yeah, rage quitter for sure, right there.
Questions from the fans.
All right,
You're
yeah, from the
pushing me,
amazing
dog.
people out there. First question: what is a good memory about college? So how about we go away from sports?
Yeah,
Right?
away
Good
from
memory.
sports,
Yeah.
good memory. Dang.
Rockstar Week. No, I'm playing.
No, that's no. I was warned about that before. Yeah, we'll keep it here. Good memory of college, man. Shoot. Let me think. You said keep it away from sports?
Yeah, try to keep it away from sports.
Oh man, because my best memory is in the sport one.
That's why we're making it hard.
Oh, so the good one has to be. Okay. So, I had flew from LA to Chicago, and I had to fly from Chicago to Dubuque.
Oh.
And problem is there was a snowstorm. I mean, people fall asleep in the plane. So I fell asleep on the plane from Chicago to Dubuque. I had thought we had flew into Dubuque already because I felt the plane like land. So I called my friend, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm here already. If you can come pick me up, please. Start heading your way because we're just landing." The pilot says, "Sorry guys, we'll try getting into Dubuque again. We're currently in Milwaukee, Wisconsin."
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, wait, what? And I asked the lady next to me, I was like, "Hey, like, where are we?" And she said, "Oh, we had to take an emergency landing in Wisconsin." I said, "Oh." I said, "Call my friend back." I'm like, "Yo, but I can't." I can't.
I'm nowhere near Dubuque.
I can't, right? I was like, "Hey, I'm nowhere near Dubuque." He's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "In Wisconsin." He's gonna try to go back to Dubuque. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it to Dubuque. It was too bad. The weather was too bad. So he ended up flying to Moline, Illinois, which I think is about an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
Problem is, we all get off. Pilot comes out and he says, "I'm not taking anybody to Dubuque." And I was there like, what are you saying, dude? Like, what do you mean you're not taking anybody? I don't have a ride.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't. You're just too risky. I said, "Dude, but I'm here alone. Like, what do you expect?" And I went to the people and they were like, and I said, "Hey, can I get a refund or can I get another flight out?" It's like, "No, sir. Sorry. That was like, after those tries, I guess like you don't get a refund or anything like that."
What?
So they didn't want to help me out with like a hotel, nothing.
Oh.
So this old lady, she was like a very sweet lady, and she goes, "Oh, where are you going to, sir?" And I was like, "I'm going to Dubuque, Iowa." She was like, "Oh, do you wanna catch a ride with me?" And I was like, are
you a murderer?
I was like, I told her straight up, I was like, "Ma'am, I ain't got no money. Like, I don't have no money to offer you. Like, I'm a college student."
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, it's okay. You'll be good company." And I was like, okay, where are you going? right? And she was going to our rival school, Loris, which is in Dubuque as well.
Ooh. Did you
And-
like punch her on the way?
No. So funny part is she invited a couple to go with us as well.
Oh.
And so I went to the back seat. We put the wife in the front, and it's another guy next to me. So I'm right behind the driver. She's driving, and you get kind of sleepy on those drives. So I just started dozing off, and I fell asleep. So when I woke up, I was scared. I was like, "Oh man!" I just hitchhiked with some strangers, and I fell asleep. I don't know where I'm at. Luckily, they took me to Dubuque, and they were very nice people. Lady took me all the way to school, so that's got to be the non-sport. That's probably my favorite memory. If I get to say I hitchhiked in Dubuque. I wouldn't recommend it, but it gets a little scary, a little stressful, but definitely really cool, really fun.
Next one, Lil Juicy. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear. Ooh, that's a good one. I would have said failure, but I think I have become a lot more comfortable with failing. I think my fear is that's a good one. Honestly, I think my fear is just being the best man I can be.
Not being the best man you can be.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like I fear that I never live up to my expectations for myself.
That's a big.
I guess that's what it would be.
Yeah.
I feel like if anybody knows me and if I have a goal in mind,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go do it. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's flying all the way to Iowa or anywhere, I'm gonna go.
You're determined.
I'm gonna go handle my business.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of what I fear is the expectations I have set for myself I never will fulfill them. Whether it's to be a great husband, great dad, a great coach, great therapist, whatever it is. My fear is that I never will fulfill them. If something happens, it gets taken away or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's my fear is that I'll never know if I have enough time to accomplish all those things I want to accomplish. So, but I put my faith in God, which I have built a really great relationship. I feel like in this year, and really my faith has been really strong to the point where I feel like I know that I'm doing the best I can possibly as a human, and as a man, and I feel like I just continue to work towards what He has planned for me. So I do really gotta say that's probably my biggest fear is just living up to my own expectations. So, yeah.
And then, because we are running on time, so our last question for the day. What is the best advice that you can give to someone?
Ooh, in what aspect?
Life.
What
is the best advice you give to someone?
It's honestly be okay to fail. Be okay to fail because in life you will fail. There is something, whatever it is, whether it's you mess up a table or something, or you say a bad word or whatever it is, be comfortable with failing. If you can be comfortable with failing, I feel like you will accomplish a lot of things, because things are not always going to go your way. Things are going to go in some direction that you didn't even plan on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can adapt to that change, that's accepting failure. That's accepting that things are not going my way. That's okay. Let me adjust to what's happening right now. And it's honestly just being present. Be present in your life. You failed. Guess what? That's in the past. It's done. Be present with what's happening right now. Right? Be present in, if you're doing a podcast, be present in that. Enjoying the time with you guys, enjoying the time of, whatever you're setting up or whatever it is. Enjoy that time because nothing can happen in that time right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, my advice would be comfortable with failing and be in the present moment. Be in the present time. Challenge yourself with that as a human. I bet you're going to feel a lot better. And that's what I tell my clients is be in the present moment. Challenge yourself to do that. You're going to see different things happen to you. Because people harp on, oh, well, this happened to me in my life. Blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, like, definitely, man. Like, I get that. But it's not happening right now. Like, yeah, the stuff you experienced in that moment, yeah, it happened. And you're carrying those things. Yeah, as a therapist, I'm helping you get through that. But understand, that's not happening right now. Like, what is happening now in your life that is helping you feel happy, or what's making you sad? You know, those things are important to really acknowledge, because you start to see a difference in your perspective of things. So yeah, that would be the best advice I could give.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Very
That was
great.
very,
Appreciate it.
Inspirational.
That was.
I might have changed. I might change after this pod.
I might.
You got some wisdom.
Yeah.
Might.
Got words, positive words from a wise man. But yeah, let's end this pod already and end it on a negative note. Unfortunately, I'm just kidding.
I'm about to say negative. No,
Negative
like,
no.
whoa, man.
You gotta say bye, bro. It's negative.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it is
that is
negative. I could talk for hours, so yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we went over an hour. But guys, this was an awesome pod. Thank you for coming.
I appreciate you
Jaime,
guys
for
for
coming.
having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, hopefully you come on future episodes.
Yeah.
I would love to. Yep.
And yeah, don't do steroids.
Don't
Don't
abuse
do drugs.
substances.
If you stayed here to the end, type in thank you, Jaime, and yeah, love you, beautiful people. Any goodbyes from you all?
Goodbye, y'all. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, and yeah,
And share this, please. We really need
share
it.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Deuces.